Hey Peaches, I have 4 more answers for your what, how, why type questions. This is a timeless reading, so hopefully it brings clarity right whenever you need it, when you come across it. The stacks are time-stamped, or you can watch straight through if you have 4 different questions and you just need to pause the video to intuit which stack is going to be for which question. And I'm just going to get right to it. For answer 1, question 1 and answer 1, you have kindness and you have the moon reversed. So let's see if this is going to focus, or do I need to set them down? So the first thing that they want you to know is to not be afraid. In fact, that's exactly how I'm hearing it. The words "be not afraid." And there's also something significant about the next new moon, or the new moon, any new moon. They don't answer time frame per se, but you might be able to time something right, or to use that time, that new moon time, to set a kinder intention for yourself, or to start something new that reduces some of the pressure that you put on yourself. I just feel like you need to be outside in nature or with animals during an upcoming new moon, even if that's your pets, from the comfort of your own home, preferably safest. Somehow get in touch with the benevolence that your world has to offer and access grace for yourself. They do recommend getting outside of yourself a little bit. That too much introspection can become sort of a labyrinth, and it's time to come up for air, to simplify, to lighten up on yourself, really lighten up on yourself. They're saying the answer isn't nearly as complicated as you think, and that your first thought is already spot on, and it doesn't need to be drilled down into, really. So everything is fairly on the surface in your situation. So that is what I have for the first answer. Okay, and for the second answer, you have patience, oh boy, and the 7 of Wands. Kind of like answer 1, it even though I'm not really asking timing for timing answers, this is obliquely bringing up timing into it without being specific. So patience showing up, the answer is going to be not soon. But while you do have to access patience, don't become complacent. You might not be advancing very quickly right now, but the most important thing is that you are holding your ground and proving your competence where you are in the moment, in the now. Keeping to the high ground, resisting peer pressure or other negative influence, maintaining your composure, standing firm when the tide might be against you, that's how you move forward. That's how you win. Yes, you are swimming upstream, and they're saying don't stop. Not backing down, even in slow momentum, is going to get you where you want to go in time. So running with the herd is going to push your goals further away. It may not feel like you're getting anywhere, but you are. There's a Pearl Jam lyric that's coming to mind right now. It says, I change by not changing at all. It's like you might have been ahead of your time. It's like you hold still, and while everything around you lines up with you. So yeah, like you might have been ahead of your time, and let the world catch up to you. Don't go backwards to meet it, if that makes any sense. All right, answer number 3, you have teach, and you have the 2 of Wands. So you are moving in into uncharted territory. I just recently saw a video about how to help gifted young people how to study and succeed academically when at that point when the natural momentum of their intelligence starts to slow down, like the material, like later in high school, because they have never had to actually develop good study habits. Everything just comes naturally up into a point, right? And then all of a sudden you realize you don't actually know how to study something you don't know. And the advice was to study the material in order to teach, to add in that extra challenge of not just understanding it for yourself, but understanding it in a way that you would be able to tell someone else. It's like, don't do it for yourself, you're blazing a trail, not because of where you want to end up per se, but to carve out a way for someone else to gain passage. It's like learning ASL, for example, not because you're deaf, but because a new family member or a partner is, or learning how to cook to avoid certain allergens because your child has been diagnosed with, that kind of thing. So this is showing a new way of being for you that you don't necessarily have any context for or experience in, but you're being called into service here to learn it, to walk it for a loved one, with a loved one, or for the sake of leading someone. The cool thing is that there are monumental gifts coming in for you once you do step onto that path. Our greatest lessons and accomplishments, they come from challenge and from facing the unknown, very rarely when things are easy. Not that we don't deserve for things to be easy sometimes. That's another thing. But anyway, the paved path basically has already been stripped of all its riches. People have already been down it and mined it for all there is. Where you're going, it's still all untouched and it's all still there waiting for you to discover. All right. Answer 4, you have strength and you have the King of Swords reversed. Stay grounded and strictly adhere to the facts. Overanalyzing, overcalculating, cramming meaning between the lines that just isn't there, making 2 and 2 into 5, that's only going to make any brain fog or confusion and delusion you might be experiencing, it's going to worsen that. Not only sticking to the facts, but being clear on what you do not know, like setting the boundary, like this is something I don't know, and you don't need to try to fill that in, but just be clear on what you do and do not know. Recenter yourself in what you absolutely know, not what you think. That's a better way to put it. Like imagine a huge tree, right, in a windstorm. And in the summertime, when it is full of leaves, the branches are like sails and they catch all of that wind, and it's more likely to bring down the limbs. But in the winter or in the spring, when the branches are still bare, the wind can kind of move through it. So sticking with the bare bones right now, and I guess almost like closing down receptors to all of the conflicting data that you might find down the internet rabbit hole. That's going to keep you more stable as you move through this particular situation. Like lower your sails and connect with what you can see with your eyes, what you can hear with your ears, touch with your hands, and smell with your nose right now. There's a specific grounding technique where you do that, where you like touch something with each of your senses to bring you back around to the reality of the moment. It feels as though I can feel you going through there's a sandstorm of information blowing through that can be disruptive to your peace if you're out there trying to sort it out and trying to create order out of it. Reduce the factors they're saying, like a mathematician does before solving an equation, removing the superfluous and the redundant data and just getting down to the minimum facts. And that is going to be so much easier for you to work with and to kind of make that more wieldy for you. So that's what I have for answer 4. I hope that helped you guys, and I will talk to you in the next one.